Right. What's the second stock idea that you'd like to recommend? And I believe it's Jubilant Life Sciences. What's the rationale for the stock to sustain an up move for a year?
So Jubilant Life Sciences is into pharmaceuticals and life sciences, and it had its share of issues, FDA issues, a year ago. It has got two facilities in North America, one in US and one in Canada, both of which were under FDA issues for some time. Both these issues are being now resolved. In fact, as we speak, we'll probably see one of the facilities, the Spokane facility in Canada, actually coming up. And hence their business traction will grow forward. Their major business focus actually comes from pyridines, which is a commodity which is used in various, as an ingredient in for various lifestyle kind of drugs. So we will see their business growing as we see the commodity prices fall and the FDA issue is getting resolved. So we are looking at a one-year target price of something like 254 for the company.
Thanks, Mahadesh, for joining in with your top ideas, Den Networks and Jubilant. But let's cut across to the management of Max India on the corporate restructuring plan.
You go in India, people. Doubting Thomas. No, it's because my personal view is the two biggest social changes I've seen in our country over the last 10, 15 years. One is seat belts. Seat belts in the car. You very, very rarely see any driver, taxi, private car, private driver, as late as you may be, "Arey bhai, jaldi karo," he will put his seat belt on and then he'll move. And the other big social change I've seen is business punctuality. So business punctuality has gone like that. Social punctuality continues to go that way, at least in North India. North India is a very strange place. Delhi is a totally crazy place. But this has not changed. Okay. I want to first start by welcoming you, not because of formality, but because of the support we have, and may I say I have personally enjoyed from the media, from the press for a long, long time. And I appreciate not being misquoted, I appreciate being supported, and I appreciate that there's mutual respect between us. So thank you. I honestly mean that. And some of you I've known for a long time and you're friends. So I want to preface the start of this meet by using some words that I used at the start of the board meeting we just concluded. And basically, I said to them that everybody, thanks to Arun, was somewhat aware of what this meet was about. But I said, God has again been on our side. Because imagine if we were having this meeting on January 27th, 2014. The sentiment, the feeling would not have been the same. So the environment and the actual ingredient of not a perceived ingredient or a perceived feeling, but the actual ingredient of the environment in which we sit today in India with our new Prime Minister and government is actually a very different scenario, different feeling, different tone, different everything. So it feels like this is what we are doing, what we have announced, what we are going to talk about now. It was possibly in the continuum of life destined that it should come, not only the good thing or the right thing or doing the right thing the right way, but also at a great time. Because the cycle in which we are now is a big booster to what we are about to, share with you. And also it should come in a week which is around Republic Day, which is around the time of President Obama's visit, with what has happened in the last few days during Mr. Obama's visit, what happened in the ET summit a week or so ago. So ye kuch mahal and timing of this event by our good fortune is very nice and very welcome. So on that note, what we here to talk about. So we have taken the shape over the years of a mini conglomerate of sorts. We were a mini conglomerate in our past life before 2000, when we divested lots of businesses and started these new businesses. And then we took the shape again of a mini conglomerate. And I must have been hearing for the last 10, 15 years from many friends, advisors, board members, aspects of holding company discount, lack of confusion, people not interested to invest in your stock because they're interested in one sector, you're forced to get into other sectors. The research in various analyst firms is more focused on one sector, you're forcing them to understand another sector. So only a lot of hodgepodge. And also very difficult to have a press meet. If somebody sat with you and said, what business are you in? Barring giving a very high level definition of saying, we are in businesses of social good, mainly in insurance and healthcare, you could never get into details because I learned back in business school that if you cannot describe what business you are in one sentence, then you don't know what business you are in. So a lot of this backdrop and the success of particularly our life insurance and healthcare businesses led us to believe that time has now come, in the fullness of time, now to, as it were, the technical word is de-merge the various businesses of the Max India Group into 3 clusters. The 3 clusters being, 1, a company which will be called Max Financial Services, which is actually the current Max India of today, will be rechristened Max Financial Services, to house under it exclusively our 74% ownership in Max Life. So more or less it will be a surrogate listing of the life insurance business. Second, a new company which will be renamed Max India Limited, to hold under it 3 businesses: Max Healthcare, Antara Senior Living, and Max Bupa. And the third vertical to be called Max Ventures and Industries Limited. Please appreciate the choice of the name, and I'll share more about that in a minute before I hand over to Rahul. That is our current plastics or BOPP business. But the reason we've given it that name is actually and genuinely and honestly in response to 2 things. That over the last 12, 13 years, the entrepreneurial spirit that is resident in the Max Group has been all focused on our insurance and healthcare businesses. And on any given week when we have had people wanting to talk to us about new business opportunities, we have said, thank you, but no thank you, because we are focused. But with that untapped potential in India's context today.
Okay, that's Max India addressing the press and the investors. Now, just a very quick brief on Max India. Essentially, what's happening is a 13,000 crore company getting split into 3. 1 share in Max Financial Services, which will hold the insurance arm. The business is valued at 10,000 crores. So that is 1. You also get the health vertical business, which is valued at about 2,500 crores. And you get 1 shares, which will have the healthcare vertical and the health insurance business. So that's the other bit. And the third is, of course, the company, which is an investment manager company, so, which I don't think too much of value is attached to that. So essentially, it's 10,000 plus 2.5 or 3 odd thousand plus a third company, the shares that you get, which is 5 shares odd that you get for the third company. So broadly in line with what the current market cap is, the value unlocking play has already happened. The only thing is, yes, there is clarity on the cash that was there in the books of Max India. It's been split and they've given out how the 605 crores of cash reserves has been split as well. So clarity on that. All the 3 businesses are separate. You can now invest in the insurance business, and if they get in more partners, so on and so forth, that just adds to the benefits. But for now, the run-up that we've seen in Max India the last 2 days pretty much takes care of all the kind of benefit that would have come in by this restructuring. So 7.5% today, 7 or 8% in Friday's session. It's a big up move that's happened in Max India, but on warranted lines, and the stock is still looking good as we speak.
It's a day for mid-caps and lots of stock-specific activity. Eicher Motors is the other one, which is on a tear, 5% up on that stock. volumes above the 10-day average, and this is the best gain that you've seen in the counter since December